December's definitely is its own zone. Time just moves so much faster, days gone by in a blur, and then once again, we're hit with those sentimental feelings that we know all too well. Looking back, but also looking forward to all the possibilities of the new year, while secretly wishing things would slow down. Speaking of possibilities, I want to thank Squarespace for all their creative support this year. If you're a small business owner or a creative looking to take your online portfolio to the next level, Squarespace is here to guide you through it all. With thousands of beautiful templates, 24/7 support and analytics, and newsletters, the possibilities are endless. Another great thing is you can try Squarespace for free for up to 14 days, and whenever you're ready to launch, you can use my code Cherrien to save 10% off your first purchase of a domain or website. My room just got infinitely cozier with this new rug. It is so much warmer than my last one because the material is different. The one I had last was made of cotton, I think, and this one is made of wool, so makes sense why it feels a bit warmer in here. I am a little sad that it doesn't go all the way up against the wall, but it is longer vertically, longer than the one I had before, but would have been nicer for it to reach all the way over there. I think this was their like third biggest size or second biggest size, but the next size up was way too large. It would have covered up my entire room, which I don't think would have been the most practical choice. So yeah, I think it's fine. Better, it's brighter. My room, gorgeous as it is, now that I think I've finally got it to where I want it to be, I don't think I'm gonna be making any major switches to my room anytime soon. I just am gonna add more wall pieces, maybe some more art. The walls are pretty empty, so we're gonna find some cute frames or posters, or may paint some myself. Most likely will paint them myself. I do have my eyes on a few cute frames, but I don't know if I'm actually gonna get them. It is literally so freezing outside today, and I am properly starved, so I'm gonna go grab a bite to eat, and I'll catch you guys up in a minute. It snowed again, so I'm watching. We are out today to check out an exhibit, but I'm having lunch with my friend first, and then we're gonna head over to a little Christmas market, like an ugly Christmas sweater shop that we go to every year, so excited. About to head out. We took out the bangs again today. Just finished getting ready. I'm just wearing a plain white turtleneck and this little lacy cardigan. Heading out to have lunch with my friends again, who I haven't seen in a while, so excited to catch up. But before I leave, I want to show you the little ugly Christmas sweater I got the other day. Hold on. God, you can already hear it jingling. A little backstory on the whole thing I'm about to show you. So the vintage shop that we went to the other day only stocks the finest, most ugliest Christmas sweater to ever grace this earth. And this one friend and I have a time-honored tradition of just picking out the ugliest sweater we can find for each other and then wearing them on either Christmas Day or the eve of. Actually, we only started it last year, but we're adamant on keeping it going. And mind you, we got a bunch of free drinks last year when we wore this to the bar on Christmas Day. The bartender loved it so much. He thought we were so brave to look so hideous on Christmas when everyone else is all glammed up. So we got a bunch of free drinks, which I think, you know, is a win. So yeah, without further ado, last year it was this, and I was very hesitant to pull this out because my cats are in love with this sweater. It's literally catnip to them. I mean, it jingles, it sparkles. This is everything for them. So hoping they don't get to it while I'm showing it to you guys. And this year, my dear friend picked this little number out for me. I mean, at least this one doesn't jingle with every breath I take, but it very much makes up for it with this monstrosity. It's literally protruding out of my belly. That's what I'll be wearing this Christmas. And honestly, I feel like this is a very fun tradition. We plan on collecting them, archiving them over the course of our friendship. 10 years later, we're gonna have a bunch of all these ugly, hideous monstrosities in our closet, and it'll be fun looking back on for a decade of just the ugliest Christmas sweaters. That was it. That's just all I wanted to show you. Now I'm gonna head out to go meet my friends, and I'll be back. So once again, we are home. Got in a bit early last night, even by my standards, and didn't do much. I just took a shower, read some more of this, which by the way, I am reading for a reason that I will get to in just a moment. I never really got the chance to just catch you guys up on what's been happening with me this week. Not that there's anything major to report, but to just add a bit more context, may or may not have a new exhibit coming up. Sorry, I don't know why I phrased it like that. I do have an exhibit coming up next spring, and you guys are the first to hear about it here. I haven't spoken about it on any social media platforms, which I guess for me is only Instagram. Things were still very much up in the air, and I didn't want to jinx anything, so I remained very hush-hush about it all. But we did have our first meeting yesterday, so things are feeling pretty real. So this is the first official announcement, I guess. It will be in Seoul this time, next spring, around late March, I think. And it won't be a solo exhibit. And that is all I'm giving away for now. Guess you'll just have to stay tuned to hear more. I most likely, being me, will be dropping hints over the course of the next few months, like sketches and just ideas, brain dumping, and of course all the behind the scenes stuff within the makings of an exhibit, which I'm nervous for. A good nervous though, healthy. I'm thinking things will be pretty chill up until around February. In the meantime, well, this week actually, I've been digging up inspo, sketching, getting everything ready. Which brings us back to our current read, The Beauty of Everyday Things by Soestsu Yanagi. Hard to believe that this was written almost 100 years ago, because this man was born in the 1800s, late 1800s, and was here until the 60s. So this was written quite a long time ago, but it doesn't really feel too outdated. I guess like in some parts you do have to turn a blind eye to what he's saying, but just considering the fact that he was a man in the 20th century. But yeah, recently I've been filling the gaps of my more art essay related corner of my library, and this is my first endeavor because what I've planned for this particular exhibit and just my works in general, vlogging included, is very much rooted in my appreciation for the everyday, the miscellaneous. So I just wanted to dive more into that core perspective. Also not looking to agree or disagree, just trying to keep an open mind. So I probably won't do a review for this particular book because I feel like if I do, then I'll end up doing what I said I wouldn't. Yeah, so me earlier in the week being on Pinterest and all was to dig up some research, get some ideas. And that reminds me, Evelyn, shout out to you if you're watching by the way. In our recent conversations, how we utilize and how we navigate Pinterest came up. Personally for me, Pinterest is more for ideas, not inspiration, which I do think there is a slight difference. Pinterest never really stimulated my creativity in a way. It only gives me somewhat of an idea on how to execute the inspiration. At most, it's just the jumping start of all my resources, my resource hunting, I guess. Inspiration mostly for me comes from just observing and reading, hence all the book acquiring that's been going on over the month. Yeah, but all things aside though, this exhibit is still months away. Wow, suddenly got a little tired there. And right now we are very much knee deep within holiday season, so I'm just gonna kick back, relax. My cat on her cat wheel, by the way, that whirring sound. Have my little friendsmas, spend time with the family. And also, I have a birthday coming up soon. Yes, I am a December baby, nearly right after Christmas, which a lot of people have pitied me for my entire life. But to be honest, I kind of loved it, especially when I was younger. Christmas was and still is my favorite holiday out of the entire year. So December 26th is the saddest day of the year for me. And having a birthday that falls right after that day is a perk. You know, physically you couldn't stay sad for too long. Yeah, I am manifesting some good times for the end of the year and maybe some good news for the new year, and also hoping this little whatever this is grows back before then or by then. Everyone thinks that this was my doing. Well, I guess it is, but it was a mistake. I never intended this look. Hope wherever you are having a very Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays, and that you're with your family, your friends, all your loved ones, and Happy Holidays from me to you. Bye.